Jayo Radha Madhava Ajayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Ajayo Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Ajayo Girivaradari Jayo Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradari Jayo Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Odanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Tiravanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Ajayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Ajayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Kunja Vihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatu me, Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatu me, Jayo Radha Vallabha, Radha Vallabha Sri Radhe, Vallabha Radha Vallabha Sri Radhe, Jayo Radha Vallabha, Radha Vallabha Sri Radhe, Vallabha Radha Vallabha Sri Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Sri Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Sri Radhe, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya 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 Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jayo Nitai Doyal, Jayo Nimai Sundar, Jayo Sundar Nimai, Jayo Nitai Doyal, Jayo Nitai Doyal, Jayo Nimai Sundar, Jayo Sundar Nimai, Jayo Nitai Doyal, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Tai Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। श्रृण्वतं स्वाकता कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विदुर्नोति सुहृत्सतां नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna, welcome back to Bhagavatam session. We are in Canto 9, Liberation, Chapter 18, King Yayati regains his youth, text number 44. Uttamascintitam kuryat, Uttamascintitam kuryat, Prokta karitu madhyamaha, Prokta karitu madhyamaha, Adhamo sraddhaya kuryat, Adhamo sraddhaya kuryat, Akarto charitam pituhu, Akarto charitam pituhu, Uttamascintitam kuryat, Proktakaritu madhyamaha, Adhamo sraddhaya kuryat, Akarto charitam pituhu. Uttama chintitam kuryat, Adhamo sraddhaya kuryat, Akarto charitam pituhu. Uttamascintitam kuryat, Proktakaritu madhyama, adhamo sraddhaya kuryat, akarto charitam pituhu, uttamas chintitam kuryat, prokta karito madhyama, adhamo sraddhaya kuryat, akarto charitam pituhu. Any Matajis? Uttamas chintitam kuryat, prokta karito madhyamaha, adhamo sraddhaya kuryat, akarto charitam pituhu. Word-to-word meaning and translation by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Uttamaha, the best. Chintitam, considering the Father's idea. Kuryat, acts accordingly. Proktakari, one who acts on the order of the Father. Tu, indeed, madhyamaha, mediocre. Adhamaha, lower class. Asraddhaya, without any faith. Kuryat, acts. Akarta, unwilling to do. Ucharitam, like stool. Pitu, of the Father. Translation: a son who acts by anticipating what his father wants him to do is first class. One who acts upon receiving his father's order is second class. And one who executes his father's order irreverently is third class. But a son who refuses his father's order is like his father's tool. Purport. Puru, Yayati's last son, immediately accepted his father's proposal, for although he was the youngest, he was very qualified. Puru thought, I should have accepted my father's proposal before he asked, but I did not. Therefore, I am not a first-class son. I am second class. But I do not wish to become the lowest type of son who is compared to his father's tool. One Indian poet has spoken of Putra and Mutra. Putra means son and Mutra means urine. Both a son and urine come from the same genitals. If a son is an obedient devotee of the Lord, he is called Putra or a real son. Otherwise, if he is not learned and is not a devotee, a son is nothing better than a urine. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. You have a transcendental body, Satchitananda Vigraha. By your mercy, a dumb person can become an eloquent speaker, and a lame person can cross the mountain. Such is your mercy. Hare Krishna, welcome back to the session on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And today is a very auspicious day. The temple is celebrating, or the devotees our disciples are celebrating the Vyasa Puja, live Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Devasai Maharaj. We take Maharaj's blessings and try to share our realization in the parampara of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So just to place the context of this verse, some of you, I'm sure, must be attending these Bhagavatam sessions regularly. Anyone here who attends regularly Bhagavatam sessions? Oops, no one. Okay, online. But at least you are hearing regularly. Thank you. So we find that King Yayati, as Maharaj, His Holiness Vaishnava Swami Maharaj was saying in one of the sessions, that by the arrangement of providence, he comes to a well. And in that well, he finds a young lady, naked, crying, asking for help. And why did King Yayati come there to that well? He came there in search of water. So typically kings in those days, they used to go for hunting, and in the process he came to that well. And there he saw a helpless lady, and so therefore as a kind king, he takes out his uttariyam, the shawl, and then gives it to that lady. And not only he gives the shawl to that lady, but he extends his hand to pull her out of the well. And that lady happens to be, who was she? Śukracharya's daughter Devayani. Thank you, Prabhu. So she was the daughter of Śukracharya, and she was there in distress, and immediately she says that, look, you have extended your hand to me and equally seen me in a naked form, and this is possible only for a husband, so therefore you are my husband. Although King Yayati was getting married to, who was he getting married to? Sharmista. So, and Sharmista happens to be a good friend of Devayani. And as we know that they both came to that area of the forest where they were playing, and then they were taking bath, and suddenly they find a divine couple going over, and they saw that this is not right on their part to be in that naked condition, so therefore immediately they try to cover up themselves with clothes. And in the process, Sharmista, who is the daughter of a king, in her hurry, she takes the clothes of Devayani and dresses herself. And at that point, Devayani becomes very angry, and then she starts abusing Sharmista. And Maharaj wonderfully brings out that point, the difference between a Kshatriya and a Brahmana. A Brahmana, or a person who is in mode of goodness, has the quality to take any amount of abuses, but cannot tolerate a physical abuse. So the Brahmana can tolerate mental abuse, but cannot tolerate a physical abuse. Whereas the Kshatriya cannot tolerate, a Kshatriya can tolerate physical abuse, but cannot tolerate the mental abuse. So therefore, when Sharmista being a Kshatrani or a Kshatriya And Devayani starts abusing her because a Kshatriya does not tolerate the mental abuse, so therefore she becomes angry, and then along with her maid servants, she pushes Devayani into that well. And that's how King Yayati comes to that place and pulls her out of the well, and then she becomes married to King Yayati. So there Maharaj was saying that, look at the providence, that we think we should do something, but by providence or karmana daivanetrena, by the arrangement of the Lord, something else happens. And this is possible, or this happens in everyone's life. It's not just King Yayati and Sharmista and Devayani, but we're all have such experience in our own personal lives in one way or the other, to remind us that there is a supreme force and we are guided by that force based on the activities we have been performing through many lifetimes. So that's a lesson we try to learn from this episode. And we find that when Devayani marries King Yayati, she wanted as a revenge that Sharmista should become her maidservant and serve her. And Sharmista's father was scared of Shukracharya being the guru, and therefore he says he agrees to that condition, and Sharmista comes along with Devayani to King Yayati's palace, and where Sharmista was serving Devayani as a maidservant. But once again, by providence, we find that although Devayani is the wife and she begets children through her legal husband, but Sharmista also has children through King Yayati. They were not supposed to meet, but they do meet, and then Sharmista becomes a mother. Now here and knowing this, Devayani goes back to her father and complains to her father. And Shukracharya becomes very angry, and then he curses King Yayati that you become an old person, devoid of your youth and young age. And then King Yayati falls at the feet of Guru and requests for pardon. And Shukracharya agrees to that and says that on one condition you can come out of this curse. And what is that condition?
If you get your youth exchanged by someone.
Yeah, if you can exchange your youth with a young person, then you can get back your youth, and that person will take over your old age. So that's the context we find here. So we find that in the previous two verses, 42, King Yayati then requested Puru, who was younger than these three brothers but more qualified, "My dear son, do not be disobedient like your elder brothers, for that is not your duty." So therefore, King Yayati asks his three elder sons, who are the children of Devayani, that please exchange your youth for my old age, because I still have the desires to enjoy my life, but the sons do not agree to that. And therefore here we find that King Yayati is requesting Puru, who is the son of Sharmista, not Devayani, that please do not be disobedient like your elder brothers, but function on the platform of duty and exchange your youth to my old age. That was 42. And 43, Puru replied, O your majesty, who in this world can repay his debt to his father? By the mercy of one's father, one gets the human form of life, which can enable one to become an associate of the Supreme Lord. So here we find in the previous verse that Puru is saying to his father, it is because of your mercy, it is because of your blessings that I have received this human body. And human body, as we know, is a vehicle that can be used, or that when used properly, you get an opportunity to return back home, back to Godhead. You can break the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. And if you do not use this vehicle for taking up this process to get over the cycle, then it's a waste of human form of life. And there's a possibility when we waste our human form of life, we may not get next life, the human birth itself. It's a danger, and therefore it should be utilized in service of the Supreme Lord. There's a beautiful story here, which we often say, that there was a forest in Mysore where it's all Chandan forest. And there, the king who was ruling that particular area, every day he would come out to his balcony and then see an old man walking by with heavy sticks on his head. So then the king takes compassion towards this old man and says that, let me relieve his poverty, and therefore assigns him a small part of the Chandan forest. And he says that you take this forest. And king thought that, well, I'm giving such a valuable forest to this person, and therefore the person should be relieved of his poverty, and he should be spending his time in Shravanam Kirtanam, in chanting and hearing Krishna Katha. But after some days or weeks, once again he sees this old man still carrying the log of wood on his head and walking by. And he was surprised. He said that, I have given to this person a valuable forest, part of the forest, and still this person is carrying the same old log of wood. What's happening to that person? So he calls that person, what has happened? Then the person says that, well, you have given the forest to me, the part of the forest, and have used it. He says, how did you use it? Because Chandan is supposed to be very precious wood, and how did you use it? He said that I have cut the wood and then sold it as firewood. So a valuable forest, the person has sold it as by way of firewood, and therefore he continues to be in poverty. So similarly, we are given a valuable body like Chandan, and if we use this body not as Chandan but as firewood, then what will happen? In the case of that king, what do you think? If you are a king, what will you do? You take back that forest. He says that this person is useless. I have given such a valuable forest, and the person has not utilized it properly, and therefore the king takes back that forest. So similarly, the Lord also said that, well, I have given this person such a valuable body that can be utilized to break the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease, and instead he is using like firewood. So therefore, just as the king wants to withdraw or withdraws the Chandan forest from that old man, so similarly, Lord says that, well, you don't deserve a human body, and therefore He gives us a suitable body befitting our consciousness. So that's the danger we have. And therefore, Puru is offering his praises to his father that you have given me such a valuable body, and therefore this body must be utilized in the service of the Lord or in the service of a senior person like you or your father. It should be utilized for you because this is my dharma. And therefore we come to the current verse where he says that a son who acts by anticipating what his father wants him to do is first class, and one who acts upon receiving his father's order is second class, and one who executes his father's order irreverently is third class, but a son who refuses his father's order is like his father's tool. So we have seen that earlier that a person can do his duty on, or a person can perform his activity on 4 different platforms. One is out of bhaya, fear. If I don't do this, then I'll have to face the consequences. That's one platform. And typically, one can say that that is the starting journey or the platform on which we all start our Krishna consciousness. Out of fear. And there are many religions also do that. If you don't do this, take the sword, I'll chop off your head. That's fear is instilled. And as parents also, we try to cajole, we try to tell our children, don't do this. And finally, if the child does not listen, then we give a danda and say that now you do. And the child then out of fear listens to the parent. Of course, in this country, if you take a danda and the child knows his rights, we are behind the jail. But that's generally we say that so we start with out of fear. And the second level is that we perform the action on the platform of hope or asha or incentive. If I do this, I get some benefit. So therefore, I'll tend to do that. It could be any benefit, a material benefit or whatever the benefit we get. So therefore, that's also we try to do the child. If you do this, Baba, I'll give you a chocolate or a toffee or an ice cream or I'll take you to some place, and therefore the child listens to. But better than that would be the platform of duty. That this is my dharma, this is my duty, and I need to perform. And when a person does his activity on the platform of duty, then the person gets the real knowledge, or because from that duty platform, he gets to know that he is not the body but the spirit soul, mode of goodness. But better than that would be to perform the duty on the platform of love or prema. So here we find Puru is saying that I should have known the desire of my father, and knowing the desire, I should have acted. But I did not act on the spontaneous platform, or I did not act on that love platform. Rather, I'm acting, at least let me act on the platform of dharma, or let me act on the platform of duty, so that I do not fall under the last category. A son who refuses his father's order is like his father's tool. So therefore, Prabhupada says that although he was the youngest, he was very qualified. He had that understanding, he had that knowledge that I should perform my duty, and therefore he is willing to exchange his youth to his father's old age. And by doing that, what is happening is that we derive or we get the blessings of the elders. And by that blessing, one can progress on the spiritual journey. So therefore, we have the famous verse, Yasya deva parabhaktir yada deve tatha garau tasyete katita hi artha prakasante mahatmanaha. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge revealed. So here it's talking about the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master, and we can consider Father as a spiritual master, because he is our first guru. Mother and father are our first guru who tell us, who guide us. And we also have that famous verse where it is said that do not become a father, do not become a mother, do not become a parent unless you are able to deliver your children from the repeated birth, death, old age and disease. So therefore here we find that in that sense we can take the father as a guru, and therefore we should follow father's instruction. Although it's still in the platform of duty, but better than that would be, we find Mother Devahuti has been instructed by Lord Kapila in Canto 3, Chapter 29, text 11-12. It says, Madguna Sruti Matrena Mai Sarva Guhasaye Manogatir Avichinna Yata Gangambaso Ambudau Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Hi Udahrutam Ahayutiki Avyayahita Ya Bhakti Purushottame. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Person of Godhead who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. So therefore, someone whose heart is naturally flowing towards the Supreme Lord or in devotion, then understands the heart of the Guru or the heart of a father. And naturally, before even asking, such a person can abide by the parent's instruction or abide by the Guru's instruction, because his heart aligns with the heart of the superior. So here, Puru is not on that platform, but this is the spontaneity with which a person can align his thoughts if the person has developed that love, that devotion towards the elders. Not an easy task, but it is an example we find as inspiration in scripture. Can you think of any such example who behaved as the first class? Because here we find that the first class, the second class, the third class, and the fourth class are being mentioned. So can we think of an example as a first class in Vedic literature? Lord? Yeah. Why even after so many millenniums that we remember Lord Ramachandra? It is because of the sacrifice Lord Ramachandra has done. He was supposed to become a king, but then it was not even his father expressed his desire in front of him. He just came to know from his mother, that stepmother, that he should abandon the kingdom and then go to forest. And in as much as he was feeling happy that he is getting crowned the next day, he was equally happy to leave to the forest. And once again there we have a lesson to learn that whatever is happening in our life, it is by the arrangement of the providence. Or we have that famous verse from Bhagavatam, Tatteno kampam susumekshamano Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam hridvagva purbir vidadan namaste. Then jivetayo samuktidaya bhag. So there, when whatever conditions we may be placed, we take it as the arrangement of the Lord, and with hrud, with heart, with vag, with words, and vapu, with body, that we accept that wholeheartedly that condition. And if we can do that, then we become eligible to return back home, back to Godhead. In fact, one should memorize this verse and always remember this verse, because that helps us understand what we are facing. It could be any situation, but it is in our interest. Lord places us in that situation. And we have that prayers offered by a baby in the womb in the third canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Not everyone is fortunate to offer those prayers, but at least from those prayers we can understand we too have gone through the similar situation, maybe not with the similar realization, where the baby is saying that I am in this current situation where the baby is suffering, is in the womb where there are worms biting continuously. Nothing can be done when the worms are biting. There's stool, there is urine, there's all dirt there, and in that situation the baby is placed, and so which means that the baby is suffering. And when somebody is suffering, there are two ways of overcoming that suffering. One is by taking anesthesia. Isn't it? Somebody is undergoing surgery for a heart surgery. What do the doctors do? The doctors give an injection, anesthesia, and therefore the person is able to go through that surgery. But that means that you are dull, consciousness, which happens in the case of a tree or other forms of life. So therefore they are able to tolerate that pain. But the baby in the womb is not asking for that sort of consciousness. The baby in the womb is praying for expanding the consciousness. And the baby is thanking the Lord for placing the baby in that situation, because the baby is able to think constantly the Supreme Lord. So any time we are placed in a difficult situation, it means that there is a reason, and then that reason is to elevate our consciousness. So that we have the two ways. One, either to dull our consciousness or to expand our consciousness, or to elevate our consciousness. There's a simple story given there. There is an engineer, civil engineer, on a fourth floor of a building. And there's a worker on the ground floor. And the concrete machine is running there. And the engineer from there wants to convey a message to the worker. So he says, okay, he pulls out a 50 rupee note because it's happening in India. So the person takes a 50 rupee note, folds it, makes it a tight like a ball, and then throws it. It hits the worker, but then worker takes it, 50 rupees, he puts it into the pocket. And then the engineer says, okay, what do I do? Then he says that, okay, he takes 100 rupee note and once again folds it and then throws it at him. The person picks up that 100 rupee note also, he says, wow, this is 100 rupee note, and then again puts it in the pocket. Then the engineer says, okay, let me try one more time, takes a 500 rupee note, folds it, and then throws it again. The person says, okay, it hits me, 500 rupee note, and then again puts it in the pocket. So the engineer says, what to do? He takes a stone and now throws it. The moment it hits the stone, then the guy says, it's injuring me. Then he looks up. So the problems in our life is also like that. The Lord gives you 10 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 500 rupees, and when we do not take a turn towards Him, He says, now I have to throw a stone at this person. And that time, we turn towards Radha Vallabha, and we become, at least at the moment, we become sincere and try to come to Radha Vallabha regularly and offer prayers. Hey Krishna, hey Radhe, please help me, I'm in this difficult situation. Because there also, once again, depending on the consciousness, people may offer, I'll give you $10, then in return, what will you give me? But otherwise, at least the person is coming to temple and offering some prayers. That is at least a step positive in that direction. Because people who do not have faith, Krishna says, duskritino mudha narhadhama. So therefore, they move away further from the Lord. So this is what and in Ramayana, as Prabhu has pointed out, everyone is involved in sacrifice. Whether it is Lord Rama, who goes to forest on the instruction of his father, then Mother Sita Devi, she follows, although that was not meant for her, but then she says, no, it is my duty, I should be where my husband is. Then she follows him. Then Lakshmana, he says that I'm also following my elder brother to serve him. And so much service he renders to Lord Ramachandra that he does not eat nor sleep for 14 years. Not an easy task. Does not sleep nor eat for 14 years. Because that was required for him to kill Indrajit. Because Indrajit had that boon that someone who sleeps or someone who eats cannot kill him. So therefore, he had to remain that way without eating, without sleeping, and therefore he gets the empowerment. But then Lakshmana feels that he was able to do it because of his devotion to Lord Ramachandra and Mother Sita. He is serving the Supreme Lord, and therefore that gave him the strength to tolerate the sleep and the hunger. Then we have Bharat Maharaj, who also sacrifices. So you find all the characters, most of the characters in Ramayana, they display that sacrifice of their personal pleasure for the highest goal or for a higher dharma. And that's what we find here. Puru, he is sacrificing his youth for a higher dharma in serving his father. Then we have similarly we have the second class son. Anyone can give an example for a second class son? Sorry?
Who acts upon receiving his father's order is second class.
Yeah, so therefore Puru himself is the second class. Or in one way, subtly we can say that Arjuna was also on the platform. After hearing entire Bhagavad Gita, then he says that Karishe, whatever you say, that I'll do it. Of course, on another level, he is an eternal associate of Arjuna, associate of Arjuna, Krishna, and then he ultimately does that because that was a desire of Krishna. But we can think of as an example that after hearing entire Gita, he said that, well, I'll follow my dharma, I'll follow the instruction, and therefore he says, yes, I'll do it. Anyone example for third class son? Most of the current population, isn't it? Isn't it? Most of the current population, they are under the third class or the fourth class. Very rarely you find first class is exceptional, second class some, third class when it is convenient for them they try to follow, or otherwise they do not follow. And we have the classical example of Duryodhana. Third category. He would follow sometimes his father, but many a time he wouldn't follow his father. And then finally, someone who says that he is not going to follow ever, as in this verse it says that, but a person who refuses his father's order is like his father's tool. He can be discarded. He is useless as a fecal matter. And therefore Prabhupada in the purport says that it is through the same passage that the child is born or the son is born, and also the urine comes. So if a person follows the instruction of the father, then he becomes a putra, a righteous person, and then becomes eligible to progress on the spiritual journey. But someone who rejects father's instruction, then he is considered to be equivalent to passage of water, is useless. So it is like not following the order of a spiritual master. And therefore we have the famous verses that Acharyam mam vijaniyan navan manyate karchit namartya buddhyasyueta sarvadeva mayo guru. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary person, for he is the representative of all the devatas. So when we equate a father as a spiritual master, then we should assign this the respect that he is representing the authority, and therefore we should do it. And there's also the Bhaktivedanta Sindhu, Guror Avajna Sruti Shastra Nindanam Tatarthavado Harinamni Kalpanam. It's a great offense to disobey the spiritual master, or to blaspheme the scriptures, or to distort the holy name. So therefore, we find many verses like that which are saying that one should follow the instruction of a spiritual master or of a father. And there's a famous verse, Harauraste Gurustata Guroraste na kaschana Tasma sarva prayatnena gurum eva prasadayet. Harau raste. Raste means angry. So that person, he is if he makes the person angry, the Lord, or Hare is Hare and Raste is angry. If you make the Lord angry, then what is the alternative to that? Guru Shastra, Guru Raste, that the Guru is spiritual master. Even though the Lord is angry, but still the Guru Trata, he can deliver you. Guru may be angry, the Lord may be angry, but still the Guru can deliver you. So therefore it says, Haro raste Guru Strata, Guru raste na kaschana, Tasma sarva prayatnena Gurum eva prasadayet. So therefore, if you displease the Guru, then you have no hope. So if you displease your elders, parents, then you have no hope so long. It's a conditional so long. It is following the Shastra, because we have equally many examples in Shastra where they reject the parents' or spiritual masters' guidance. So it is in this context we are discussing. We find that it becomes the duty of the child to follow the father's instruction, so that that sacrifice we can see eventually gives him the kingdom and the great lineage to follow. And we find Srila Prabhupada as an example, who has sacrificed his comfort when he, not only he received as an instruction, because at the first time when he met his Gurudev, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, in that very first meeting, he got the message that you are a youngster, you are capable, and you can preach in English Krishna consciousness in the Western world. So at that time, Maharaj was not his spiritual master, but that touched him, and that message he carried all through his life. And today, if you are able to sit in Bhagavatam class and hear Bhagavatam, it's only because of that great sacrifice Srila Prabhupada has made to elevate the consciousness of this planet. He was so compassionate that he wanted to deliver the entire planet, and therefore he traveled all over the globe 11 times, and then he constructed 108 temples in his own lifetime, and then thousands of disciples who are equally carrying the torch of that compassion towards the humanity. It is, if you see the examples currently we find, Prabhupada disciples, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, I'm sure anyone else would have crumbled. But look at the valor, look at the strength, look at the courage with Jayapatak Swami Maharaj is carrying the torch of compassion to elevate the consciousness of his disciples and anyone and everyone whom he comes in contact. And similarly, other disciples of Srila Prabhupada, some of them are working on the platform of duty, but others who are carrying forward, they knew Prabhupada's desire, and that desire they're carrying forward. And today we can see that from 108 temples in the last 50 years, it has increased to about 800 plus temples. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of persons all over the world are taking to Krishna consciousness seriously, and millions of books of Bhagavad Gita as it is, or Śrīmad Bhāgavatam are being distributed worldwide by devotees who are sacrificing their life, they are giving their time, their energy in following the mood of their spiritual masters, following the mood of Srila Prabhupada, following the mood of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, and trying to share Krishna consciousness to the best of their ability to see that everyone gets benefited. So therefore, concluding the verse, we say that one can perform the duty, or one can perform any activity on 4 levels, either on the platform of fear, or out of for any asha, or one can perform the activity on the platform of duty or love. And here we find Puru is performing the activity on the platform of duty, and because he feels that I should have known the desire of my father, and then I should have done it, but at least I should follow now, having received the instruction. And we find similar classification also in terms of devotees. You have the, or disciples or devotees, you have the Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama. And in disciples also, so they are once again based on the knowledge, Shastric knowledge, or based on faith. The classification has been given to us. And in disciples also you have the categories that people, disciples who serve their spiritual master on a spontaneous platform, who serve the spiritual master on the duty platform, and who serve the spiritual master out of fear. If I don't do this, I'm going to incur the wrath. And others who receive the instruction, who do not follow, and they have left the movement itself. So we find classifications across in terms of devotees, in terms of disciples, and here we find in terms of children, the classification has been given. I think it's 5 to 9. We'll stop at this stage. Any questions or any comment by anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for a nice class. Here the 4th class son who refuses his father's order. We see in ISKCON also a lot of time devotees, they join against the wish of their parents. So how you would describe this?
The question is that many devotees have joined against the wish of their parents in ISKCON, and therefore how do we understand them in the context of this verse?
Yeah, because now they are 4th class, but in fact they have fully devoted their life.
So therefore you only have answered the question. In your question, you have answered the question because you have sacrificed your life for Krishna, and therefore it is the highest dharma you are performing, because we have the gross body, we have the subtle body, and we have the spiritual body. So either you perform your activity on the gross body level, or on the subtle body, on the spiritual body. So when you're performing your duty on the spiritual body, that transcends the duties of the lower layers.
But it's not mentioned here.
Because here in this context, subsequently you'll find the story is unfolding. So you are stopping the thought, you are asking a question when the story is continuing, the pastime is continuing. When you attend these classes, furthermore, as the pastime unfolds, then you do find how Puru has gained by sacrificing his youth.
Yeah,
so he has done it, although it appears to be he has done on duty, but then he gets the desired result which a human being wants it. Anything done when you are doing PhD, Prabhupada, when you are doing PhD, the graduation or a grass tree is taken care. Yeah. It's like you have $1 million, $5 is in it. So you don't have to think about $5. So similarly here also, when you are performing a duty on a higher platform, although it appears to be against the parents' instruction, but it is considered to be the higher, better than following parents, because eventually, if we see in our own life, in the beginning the parents may be unhappy, but subsequently they realize what a glorious child my son is or my daughter is, and they themselves take to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. Jai. Hare.
Hari Bol. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, one question. In this, from the context of King Yayati, he wanted to exchange the youth because he wanted to enjoy. So, whereas when, his son agreed. But when we see Brahma instructed 4 Kumaras to procreate, because that was a dharma and what was the instruction given by Brahma from Krishna to procreate. But the 4 Kumaras refused. So how do we
It's the same principle.
reconcile?
The 4 Kumaras, they had a higher principle than progeniting the universe. See, we find that the 4 Kumaras, we have the Sampradaya itself, Nimbarka Sampradaya. It is the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, the Sri Sampradaya, from the Lakshmi as the origin, where Ramanujacharya appeared in that lineage. Then Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, to which we belong to. And then we have the Rudra Sampradaya, where the Srinathji is there. And then the 4 Kumara Sampradaya, the Nimbarka Sampradaya. So therefore, for a higher cause, the lower can be given up. The same principle. As devotees, people are ignoring their father's instruction, or they make apparently their parents unhappy and then join ISKCON. But then we find that parents are very happy because the child is not taking to drugs, is not taking to intoxication. The child is not involved in any principles which are against Vedic injunction, to which the parents subscribe to, although they may not have knowledge, but they subscribe to that. And therefore, over a period of time, they see value in what the children have done, and they themselves are embracing it. So similarly, Lord Brahma also, he started with the first layer of his creation was ignorance, and then he said this is not good, and therefore the 4 Kumaras came. But then the 4 Kumaras, they said, okay, we are not interested in progeniting because we have a higher goal. And so you can sacrifice a lower goal to a higher goal, depending on one's own level of consciousness. We find many devotees who have taken an ISKCON who have become brahmacharis. Parents may be unhappy, isn't it? We find many qualified doctorates, IITs. They are capable of doing a job or become an entrepreneur like any other person. But then, in one sense, they have gone against their parents. I don't think any parent would be happy if you know that you are wearing orange robes, isn't it? But still, they have taken orange robes, but eventually they find that the parents are happy. And why I'm saying is that, because I myself had that experience. When Abhishek was, my son Abhishek, he completed his actuary, is considered to be a very sophisticated area within finance. And he was doing a job as an actuary, modeling for industries, whatever it is. And then suddenly he left on advice of Gurudev, because he expressed his desire, but Gurudev said that no, for 2 years you work. First you graduate, you work, and then when you're satisfied with little amount of work, then you become brahmachari. And one day he gave a call to us saying that, because he was working in Sydney, he gave a call to us saying that, Daddy, I'm becoming a brahmachari. So he became brahmachari, and so long he was a brahmachari, we were in anxiety because we knew his nature. And we were wondering whether this boy is going to be in the ashram life. But he was in ashram for 6 years. And then suddenly one night, I think it was close to midnight, he gave a call saying that, Daddy, I'm come out of brahmachari ashram. So I went through that experience, as parents we went through that experience of son staying in a brahmachari ashram. We were in a 50-50 whether he's going to be a lifelong brahmachari or any time is he going to come out of brahmachari life and become a grahastha. So similarly, for Kumaras also, or here we find many devotees who have become brahmacharis. Parents must have been shocked in the beginning. Must have seen that what's happening. Our children have gone to Melbourne, to US in search of yellow gold, but then they are wearing orange dresses. Yes. So higher order, it is above the lower order.
In Lord Parshuram, Father Jamatagni, he had other sons apart from. So would we consider those sons in this category? Because they are the Lord's brothers.
Why did they not follow his father's instruction? Because past time we have to hear carefully there.
Yeah, they were right in one sense, but because the situation was something, you kill your mother, so they refused. So would be the considered in this category or this?
We have to see the reason why they refuse. Here, the children have refused because they didn't want to give up their sense gratification. And therefore, they have been placed in the fourth category. Now, whether there, Parshuram's brothers, whether did they do that for their sense gratification or for a principle of dharma. So when you are following the dharma, there could be a dharma, ultimate dharma is bhakti, but then there are steps, intermediate steps.
So should I understand these principles is not just
in isolation.
It has to be time, place, circumstances.
Yeah, it's not in isolation you can take it, but you should apply in the context. And in the context when you're applying, do not apply using your own mind. It is always, we are asked to follow Guru, Shastra and Sadhu. So by taking to that, we are always protected.
Thank you.
Any other question, any comment? Grandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vanchakalpatarobhascha Krupa Sindhubhya eva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Guru, yeah, there are so many examples. Yeah, we Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, there are so many examples you can give.
Vande Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathantam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitanscha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नवाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय 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 गोपाल जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद Jaya